Hi Owen. All right, this is my final presentation for your class this semester, marketing. As you know, the topic is sustainable marketing, and I'll be covering international marketing and ethics. All right, so I'll move on to the first slide. All right, we're going to start off with a definition of sustainable marketing. As you can see, I took a definition from the marketing guru Philip Kotler and his book Principles of Marketing. To put it in simple terms, sustainable marketing is a marketing plan where the main goal is the durability of a business. In essence, focusing less on short-term profitability and more on long-term consumer value and profitability. Okay, so it's a win-win situation for both the company and the customer. All right, now we'll move on to the next slide. All right, now the three pillars of marketing. All right, divided. They're basically the environmental pillar, social pillar, and lastly the economic pillar. Now, the social pillar refers to the people. A business cannot exist without its people. You need the customer is one of the main stakeholders, and you need to meet their needs and demands in order for your business to be successful and sustainable. The economic pillar first, of course, refers to the profit factor of it. As the definition tells you, businesses are usually very profit. By definition, businesses are about making money. Now, you must take under consideration that the assumption that the economic pillar is only about making profit by any means necessary, irregardless of the implications, could not be further from the truth. The business environment is changing now, and the economic pillar basically umbrellas three main constituents, which is compliance, proper governance, and risk management. All right. Now, in the environmental factor is something quite new to the business industry, especially marketing right now. More and more companies are becoming more environmentally centric due to environment issues like global warming. So this is a new aspect that marketers for companies beginning to learn more about, so they can also adapt the business structure and operations to fit this environmental aspect. Okay, next one. Okay, sustainable marketing in the context of international marketing and ethics. All right. Not too long ago, when we think about international marketing, it's basically talking about exportation and logistics. But today, international marketing now, because of the globalized era and digital era, the world is becoming smaller. People are communicating in much easier ways. It's more about achieving brand awareness. And in terms of the overseas market, it's not just about brand awareness. It's how your brand awareness can be created that suits the market or the target audience that you are going for. Now, the reason why international marketing has been getting a lot of attention lately in terms of the globalized era is one, trade barriers. Okay, trade borders are opening in a lot of countries now. More foreign investment in trades. Becoming prominent. For example, Vietnam is one such country where they recently opened their borders to more foreign investment. This has brought the rise of multinational companies, not just big companies, but even small businesses now beginning to look into foreign markets. And of course, like I said, back to the globalization era, the globalization of markets. Now, ethical business practices must take under consideration these key factors. One is culture of the market, the values and habits and behaviors of the people, the rules, and also the government regulations put in place by a particular country or region. Next. All right, ethical issues involving a company that we're all familiar with. I'll just give it a good example. Was Facebook recently when they had the data privacy scandal, where Facebook had released private information about something close to 87 million of its users, and this information was shared with a political company called Cambridge Analytica, and this basically created an uproar, and the effects of it also had its impact on major events like the US elections and Brexit. I'm not going to go into detail about this because it's a whole presentation by itself, but basically Facebook had breached that ethical uh, consideration of running a business by sharing personal information of its users without their knowledge. All right, next one. Now we talk about global marketing. Customer's advantage against the company's strategy to meet the customer's advantage. Okay, now customers have the advantage these days in the globalized era and the digital era. Basically, so many choices, literally at the click of a button. So, how does a company you change your strategies to meet this advantage that the audience or the customer has? Okay, it's called brand adaptation. So by learning more about the particular audience, their language, their culture, their behaviors, how the market there works, that's how they gain that advantage. All right, how they do this is by research. Okay, so the market is now doing a lot more research for international markets that the company or the business is targeting, about the consumers, and using this tool, the research tool, they are able to create a marketing plan that suits the particular target audience. Right. Now, a good example that Owen used was Starbucks when they decided to penetrate the Chinese market. Starbucks is a coffee company. China is more of a tea culture. Yeah, they're a tea culture basically. So what Starbucks did was they revamped their menu and included more teas, and not just that, they also did mooncakes and traditional desserts. And today, it's been a successful venture because China is Starbucks' second biggest market outside of the US. Now, because you gave a very good example like this, Owen, I decided to try and use India and McDonald's. Now, McDonald's wanted to target the Indian market recently, and India, just like China, is a big uh, market, second most populous country in the world, but they had two different issues to deal with McDonald's. Okay, in the Indian market, one was the religious issue. Majority of Hindus, majority of Indians are Hindus, so they don't eat beef, and the second biggest religion is Islam, and they don't eat pork. The next issue was pricing because India is still a low to middle income audience. So technically, McDonald's prices were still considered expensive. So this is how they changed by dealing with the religious issue. They created more chicken-based burgers as to not offend the Hindus or the Muslims. And in terms of pricing, they came up with burgers that were as cheap as 20 rupees, which is 25 US cents. Technically, that was almost as cheap as some of the street vendors. So yeah, McDonald's is apparently doing quite well in India right now. Okay, the next one, issues in environmentally responsible marketing. As you can see over here, again, green marketing. All right, we're just comparing conventional marketing with how it differs from green marketing now, which is a very new but growing concept that companies are taking into perspective when their business runs. Right. Now, companies that are doing well in the realm of green marketing, one is Starbucks. Apparently, by this year, 2020, they're supposed to eliminate all straws in their locations. I don't know if that's really happened yet. I'll have to stop by at Starbucks and see. But besides that, there's IKEA, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Hershey's as well. Now, last part, we're supposed to have a Q&A session, but because it's an online thing, I just created a question that I thought could be asked. Here it is, I quote, I understand the social and economic and ethical issues and how they impact businesses. The environment pillar is still unclear. How does reducing the unwanted environmental effects of a business translate to long-term sustainability? My answer, logically, companies reduce their dependence on natural resources more than competitors can systematically also reduce their costs and environmental issues. This is directly translated into long-term success. All right, lastly, now when we take into consideration all that we have covered today or that I've covered today, um, by understanding cultural and ethical needs of the audience in the international market scene, because I'm doing international marketing today, it creates three things: better value proposition, high profit margins, and increased sustainability. This basically is sustainable marketing in the context of international marketing and ethics summarized. I hope I haven't gone above time. Thank you very much for your time. It's been great learning with you this semester, Owen, and maybe I'll get to learn with you some other subjects in the future. Thank you so much, and have a good holiday.